Trey McBride has full confidence in his team, his quarterback, and his own ability. Plus, the training camp schedule is live. Let's get into it.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast with Kelly Singh.
Murray keeps it downfield. It is. Oh, it's caught. It is caught. DeAndre Hopkins. Miraculous. It's Murray magic.
The sickest Arizona Cardinals podcast. It's gonna be sick.
Welcome to the sickest Arizona Cardinals podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Singh, along with my co-host, the fabulous Charlotte Shaff. Charlotte, what's been going on this week?
It is another busy week, especially because I'm going on vacation to my home state of Michigan next week. So trying to get everything done before that and trying to stay cool and working my butt off. So, it's another grind, I guess you could say.
I feel that. I'm like here even now as we're recording, still adjusting my face, my camera, my mic. I'm on the road, obviously. And here at Trophy Smack, we are heading into our busy sales season. You might be able to hear tools grinding in the background. Our studio's in disarray here. But you know what? We made it. We made it. We're here. We're alive. We're breathing.
It's almost July. I saw a meme that said, how did it go from June 1st to almost the end of June like that?
I know it happens so quickly, but we're getting that much closer to football season. And actually, now that I said we're here, we made it, I'm also on vacation next week. So everybody listening, if there's an episode next week, it will be a even more bite-sized version. But today we are talking about Trey McBride, really, for the whole episode, because he was a busy bee, Charlotte. He was out there doing tons of interviews. I don't know if it's tons of interviews. I think I saw him on 2 different shows, plus the press room. He was on NFL's, I think, what is that podcast called? The Insiders. And then he did a full press conference. He was out and about, wasn't he?
Yes, he was a very popular guy this week. And let's just say, I loved hearing him talking about what he thinks about the Cardinals and what's going to happen this year,
It was a lot. I mean, he's confident in Kyler. He's confident in the team. He's confident in himself. I mean, wow. Let's start with Trey McBride talking about his own ability and the breakout season that he had last year. What are your thoughts on his talk on that?
Well, the recent clip from the press room with the Cardinals, he was talking just about, could he reach 1,000 yards in 2024? He feels confident about it, which I think is very promising and exciting to hear. He had 825 receiving yards in 2023, and he didn't even start the first quarter of the season. So I think that just kind of lays the groundwork for a healthy Trey McBride to reach his goal.
I agree. I mean, it was pretty amazing to see him get close to 1,000 yards. A 1,000-yard season for a tight end is a big deal. I know as tight ends become more widely utilized as receivers in general, almost like wide receivers, the more yards they get every season. But 1,000-yard season for a tight end, I think, is probably a goal for all of them. And getting 825 without even playing the first part of the season is pretty wild, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. He also spoke a lot about the team, the strength of the team. We've already talked about this in previous episodes where we feel like everybody's kind of underestimating, or perhaps they're now starting to get on the train and be a little bit worried about the Cardinals because they're coming. But he spoke specifically about his confidence in Kyler Murray and even went as far as to throw his name in the ring for MVP this season. I'm wondering if that is premature. But I mean, we've been hearing about this new and improved Kyler. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I'm a big fan of the new improved Kyler, and the fact that Trey McBride even said that this is the most confidence he's seen in him, throughout the years that he's been playing with him, talking about how he's the first in, the last out during practices, that kind of stuff. But I also feel as though let's not hype him up too much. I'm a big believer in being under the radar. And so while I like to see the team feeling confident and excited about the players, especially their quarterback, let's just, we'll see. We'll see. Everybody, as they say, right now before the season starts, everybody's an MVP candidate.
That's true. I think all teams and all fans want to shout, "That's my quarterback." And that's great. I love that. That's probably the best part about football is just being really proud about your team. Although I will say, at the expense of sounding like a homer on a home team podcast, it's really been exciting. The closer we get to the season, the more we're seeing clips of them working out together, the more we're hearing about how they interact with each other, the more we hear about the specific talents of various players that have been added to the team. It's like, oh, what if this is our year?
I know. Well, you're going to get your chance because the Cardinals have released training camp schedules. If you're not a season ticket holder, I don't know if you got anything in your email, but we got a couple of special things, and we also have the schedule for the end of July and the beginning of August. And their league-wide campaign is titled Back Together Weekend, which is kind of cool for that season ticket holder exclusive event on the 28th. So if you're listening and you're a season ticket holder, I would love to know if you guys are planning on attending, if you've already RSVP'd. I already RSVP'd. Did you, Kelly?
I did. I RSVP'd as well. I'm looking at the public dates and deciding which ones I can go to with my work schedule. We're going to need to coordinate.
Yeah, we are. And I have my sister in town that week too.
Oh,
So
fun.
the end of July. So I got to figure out how we're going to do this.
Well, what I would like to do is kind of what I did last year. I went and I took a lot of video and then ended up kind of breaking down that video, talking about, oh, what are we seeing from our quarterbacks? I know we have potentially one too many quarterbacks. I don't see them keeping 4. Tagovailoa, Desmond Ridder, and Clayton Tune, and Kyler Murray. So it's going to be interesting to watch the quarterbacks work out. And then I'm really excited to even see our new defense and how that's been shuffled around and how that's going to play out.
Oh yeah, we'll all get to see it for ourselves right there. See how the guys are doing with our own eyes. So
Own eyes. And Marvin Harrison Jr. catching bombs. That's what we
oh
want.
my goodness. I can't wait to see him. I can already anticipate a lot of electricity in that stadium just because he's there. So
Yeah. I did a draft, Charlotte, yesterday.
ooh.
The FSGA, a Fantasy Sports and Gambling Association, has an experts league, and it's with like NBC, CBS, Yahoo, like all these networks and these big analysts. And then Trophy Smack is a member of FSGA and has a spot in the league. And I'm the team manager.
Oh
And
wow.
my team was ranked strongest out of 14 after the draft was over, but sometimes that's bad luck.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it did feel good to have the strongest ranked team out of all of those guys. I was like, oh yeah. And no surprise, it had plenty of Cardinals on it. I managed a Kyler Murray, Trey McBride stack, picked up Mike Willie later on. So I'm pretty set, I think. I think just those three alone are going to bring so many points. I'm putting it out there in the universe.
I love it. I love it. Put it out in the universe. You never know what you're going to get back.
You never know, but I am a big fan of stacks. And if you're playing fantasy football, Kyler Murray's falling to about the 5th or 6th round if you're in a 1 QB league. So keep that in mind. You don't have to grab him super early this year, at least. After they do well this year, next year, he'll be going much higher.
There you go. I love that positive talk. And I love the tips for the fantasy people out there.
All the fantasy tips. Well, it has been another great week. I know it was a quick episode. There wasn't much news other than Trey McBride out there around town talking up the Cardinals.
That's okay though. Good news. Keep us under the radar. Rah, rah, rah. I'm happy about it.
If any of you out there have anything that you want to add to today's conversation, or you have other ideas for the show, please reach out to us on the app formerly known as Twitter. I'm Kelly in Phoenix. She's Charlotte Shaff, and the show's at Sick Pod Kelly. Find us.
There you go. And as always, thanks for listening. And if you haven't, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, anything you can do to support our show. We really appreciate it. And don't forget, you can either watch us on YouTube or you can subscribe to the show on one of your favorite podcast apps.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast with Kelly Singh on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.